Alright, so you made it to the last video in the introductory series for Words of Power. Now, there will be a couple more videos coming that are like examples of how to play, that sort of thing. But if there's something specific you'd like me to cover, make sure that you leave it in the comments of this video or drop by the Discord. That way I know what to make in the future, what's unclear, what to work on. So the last thing we're going to talk about is progression. This is how your character improves from your very first game to your very last game. So levels are based on the narrative and the game master. They just decide when you've done something significant enough in the world to level up. If you're playing as a consistent party, they should all probably level up at the same time. So when you level up, you're going to get +1 to all the HP of all your hit zones. So your head will go from 4 to 5, and your arms, legs will go from 6 to 7. And then at level 2, 7 to 8, that sort of thing. And it seems like a very minor amount, but those first couple of levels take you out of the one-shot range, and it's actually quite significant to get to like level 3. In addition to HP, you'll also get words, so you get to choose a word at every level up to add to your inherent words that you can use once per rest, and you get to choose a tag to expand the description of your character. It can be difficult to continue choosing words to describe yourself around level 3, so try not to use these as a wish list or a power game kind of thing where you're just adding things that would be nice to be good at. Try to continue describing your character and expanding the roleplay in an organic way that lets you choose tags that mean things. So there are also story tags. Now, story tags are when major events happen throughout the story. In my solo playtest, I ended up going to a in-between life and death dimension and then coming back, and I ended up with the Death Voyager tag. So that won't come up for a lot of skill checks, but it will be there for story reasons. And so sometimes your storyteller will opt to give you these tags. Maybe only some of the party, maybe the entire party has been through a thing, and it helps tell the history of the character. So I wouldn't expect them all the time, but when it happens, it's pretty cool. So the very final thing that I want to touch on is magic items. Magic items in Words of Power are a little different due to the word structure of the game. So generally, they will provide one word or some tags that are only active or only available when you are wielding the item. So you might have a magic bow that has the word arrow on it. So you can use that word infinitely. You can use it as many times as you want to combine with other words to cast spells, as long as you're holding it in your hand. Now, as long as a magic item is wielded, it takes over the armor stat for that hit zone and becomes destructible. So when your storyteller gives you a magic item, like the magic bow that has arrow on it, they will give you also a durability for it. This durability is repaired by resting, but if the item breaks, you cannot repair it. The magic is lost and the item is forfeit. So it becomes a bit of a risk to hold that bow in your hand and to use it, because when you get hit in your main hand or your offhand zone, because it's a two-handed weapon, you will damage that item. Now you can use these items outside of combat to cast all kinds of stuff, which makes magic items kind of a big deal. One of the magic items from my solo playtest was some prayer beads that had the word life on them. And you can imagine that that has a lot of really interesting uses to cast a lot of really interesting spells outside of combat, but had I used them in combat, they would break in one hit. So you really want to choose when and where to both give magic items and use them. So that really brings us to the end of progression and the introductory series. At this point, you should have a pretty good sense for what the game is, what language-based even means, and how to play. The specifics are again in the rulebook online, and we'll be playing every Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday. But I hope to get a couple of example videos going soon, and until then, I'll see you next time. I finished this last video and I realized that I still had a couple of things to say. I just wanted to reiterate the importance of the tools, not rules, in that we want to tell rad stories about rad characters, and we want to be able to play exactly the characters that we made with no compromise, no wiggle room. Just the thing we envisioned is the thing we're playing. We get a cool story. Everyone's there to cooperatively tell the story, and nobody's there to main character or anything like that. That is the kind of community I want to foster on the Discord. I want to bring real role players together and give them a place to hang out that's not inundated with all the edgelord stuff and the Mary Sue stuff and the furry stuff and the, creepers on the internet. I want to create a space where real serious role players can come together and just have a good time. So if that's something that you're interested in, please drop by. Alright, thanks for sticking with me till the end. Just a reminder that the game is still in development, and so the most current rules will not be in these videos. They will be on the website in the rule book. You can also stop by the Discord to get up-to-date information and maybe participate in the upcoming weekly public games. If you'd like to be a playtester, make sure to DM me, because we need them badly. Have a great day.